Yo, 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 welcome to the 1804 show, chapter 2. I'm your host, Della Will, and this is episode 600. I finally met my goal, y'all, and I'm happy. And as much as I wanted this to be such a celebratory thing, a lot of times my episodes aren't planned, and whenever I have something on my mind, I want to address it. I want to speak it out. So today's topic is they will build you up just to tear you down. So for like a few days, there's no secret that Saginaw native NBA player Draymond Green, as we know him as Day Day, has been suspended indefinitely by the NBA. And when I announced it, I was just spreading the word. I wasn't laughing at his downfall. I wasn't criticizing him or his actions. If anything, I was just spreading the message. But it was just really alarming of how so many black people laughed about him being suspended and saying that, oh, I'm happy that this happened to him because he needs to learn his lesson. He needs to learn that there's rules. And this is exactly why I don't want to be famous. I just want to just be like in a secluded space or a secluded area and get the money. Because the moment you get famous, people turn on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, you have, people like in your family, people that's your friends and stuff like that. Everybody think that you owe them something when you get fame, when you get fortune, when you get glamour. Oh, we talking about Day Day, man. Can y'all hear me? My sound good? But yeah, it just when you get famous, people think it's an obligation for you to take care of them, that you owe them something because they grew up with you, your parents. Oh, you got to give me a car. You got to get, well, black fathers, you know what I'm saying? Get me a Cadillac, or mama, oh, you go have to buy me a house, or you got to get me this. I'm not saying that he did all this, but I'm just speaking just in general here. We're the only people that does this to our young men who are athletes, and then they go into the league and stuff like that. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. Like when you get famous, everybody changes on you before you can change, and you just see people true colors. And I'm not saying that I have done everything that I want to do, but even before I had the opportunity to accomplish my dream, a lot of motherfuckers turned on me. A lot of people felt like I was better than them. Or you can't be talking like that, or you can't be making affirmations like that. Who you think you is and stuff. And I just look at it like, I know who I am. I know what I'm capable of. I know my limitations and this and that. So I'm not letting nobody slow me down on this success train that I'm on and that I'm aboard. You know, like the more that I climb, the more devils that I see, and the more tensions and the more jealousy and envy that I see. And it's hard, you know what I'm saying? I make it look good, but I get a lot of hate. I get so much hate, so much backstabbing, so much ridicule, so much criticism. Like I can do the criticism, but you could just be minding your own business living your life, doing your thing, and you're gonna have nothing but misery from misery people, you know? And you just trying to live, you just trying to survive, you know what I'm saying? And being a man ain't easy. People act like you're supposed to, you know, keep keep shit bottled up and you're supposed to suffer in silence. You're supposed to keep your chin up, you know? But they don't realize the hardships that you have to go through, the demons that you had to face. And, a lot of us out here by ourselves. And it's just nothing but a popularity contest. And you got to know who you are. You got to be identified with yourself in order for you to survive. So you won't get caught up in the pitfalls and the um, smoke. You know what I'm saying? Because everything is all smoke and mirrors anyway. People make it look good, but it's not good. Every place or everybody isn't good for you. And I realize that, I protect my value just by speaking on certain things that I experience. Like when I started this show, I wanted to help people. I wanted to be that ear. I wanted to be that voice for people who isn't strong enough or don't have the courage to speak their mind or to tell their story. And I just wanted to be there for people as a vessel because a lot of people weren't there for me when I was at my lowest. And I just wanted to be real. I wanted to be honest. Everything that I have ever spoke on this platform, it was all William. It wasn't no actor. It wasn't no gimmick. It wasn't no alter ego. It was all William Donnell Brown. And I just want people to know that because there's so many actors, there's so many characters. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not real if people don't call you by your real name. You know what I'm saying? How can you say that you strong or you real if I don't know you by your real name? I only know you by your rap name or your nickname or your street name. That's not real. That's a character. You know, people know me as Dollar Will, but they can read between the lines. But like, okay, his name William and stuff. That's why I never changed my name. That's why I don't do all this bickering and all this other stuff because I know who I am. I know that my intentions was always pure from the beginning. And I would say out of many black, African American, indigenous, whatever you call yourself, that I kept integrity with my platform. I was never messy. If it ever got messy, I always shut it down because I have always been like, okay, we got enough of toxic and messy ass platforms, excuse me. Can we just have something positive? Can we have something subtle? Can we have something peaceful? Can we have a real conversation? Why we always gotta dumb ourselves down to get views? Why we always gotta subjugate our brain power to be popular, to be liked? I'd rather be great than liked. I'd rather be respected than be getting dick ride. You know what I'm saying? I don't do this for that. I do this because it's my purpose. I do this because it's my mission. And I realize everybody isn't me. I don't expect me out of other people. And that's where we fail. And I have people telling me, oh, you the one, man. And this and that. All those celebrities that you had on your show, you the one. No, I'm not. Don't call me that. Don't say I'm the chosen one because I'm not. I'm just a regular person. I just grind. I hustle. You know what I'm saying? If my hustle and my grind and my willpower make you feel intimidated, then that's not my problem. That's not my fault that you feel um, at the lowest common denominator because of my work ethic. It's not my responsibility to make you get up and work or to do what you like because you're going to have to work. You know what I'm saying? I'm far from lazy. And we have to stop all this entitlement, being obligated to have this and have that. You know how many people just feel like I'm such a threat and I'm just living my life? You know, this 1804 stuff wasn't easy. I had to reinvent myself. I had to read more. I had to watch a whole lot of seminars on how to run a business because I dropped out of college. You know, I'm a college dropout, but I'm ahead of the curve or the current. I'm ahead of a lot of people because of the fact that I was so determined. Because people criticized and laughed, and it was out of that first episode. I have never forgotten that first episode where people was making jokes, when people was laughing at me. I never forgot about that. But I was just so determined to take this by storm. And I'm happy that everybody else is doing their own thing. And this is not no competition to me. This is my redemption. You know what I'm saying? I lost a lot of people to get to this point. You know how hard it is to be young. And I consider myself young. I'm not old. But I'll be 36 in a couple of weeks. But it's hard to be a young man without your pops, without your brother, without your grandparents. I have no grandparents left. But I'm thugging out here. I'm hustling. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, thank you, man. Shout out to AR Russell. But if anything, I always felt like when I ever talked to like a big legend that was in the industry or somebody who's a actor or whatever, I always carry myself with class. I always carried myself with grace. I never even took a sip of alcohol or even smoked when I was talking to him because I want all of us to understand that some of us does have common sense. Some of us have common courtesy. And we have to understand that everybody isn't in it for clout because I'm not. And people would get mad at me for calling some of this stuff out. Because I feel like this: if I can't talk about white supremacy or the injustice that we face as a race, then I would be a hypocrite not discussing what we do to each other. I would be such a hypocrite. And I'm not trying to do that. If anything, I'm not hustling. I'm not trying to get people on my team or on my side to feel me because that's on you. You know what I'm saying? You have free will just like I have free will. That's the greatest gift that God gave us was free will. Allow us to take whatever direction that we want to. But a lot of us are afraid to face accountability. A lot of us is complicit to certain behaviors that's going on. You know, how can we talk about looking out for each other and taking care of each other when we the first ones to attack each other? When somebody is in legal trouble, if somebody who's becoming a problem, becoming a pain and this and that, or get a allegation, or just get it suspended. Excuse me, gotta charge my phone. But yeah, we just have to understand that all we have is each other. And what people don't know is that no matter where you sleep, we all still slaves. Everything's a game. Everything's a divide and conquer. As much as I want us to unite, it's unrealistic. Because there's going to be some black people that's going to have to go. Who's making us look bad, who making our property property value, property value go down because they want to keep shit up. They want to keep killing people and selling drugs and poisoning our youth. These OGs don't even be OGs no more. All they be doing is assisting in the early death or the early graves. They don't be trying to tell these young dudes what it is or tell them to stay out of trouble and stay in school. They're the ones who be supplying the guns and supplying the drugs. They be trying to be their friend. And it's so fucking sad. Like, cause nowadays you got people who's 11 or 12, little kids, man, who will take a life and will take your life too. And it's sad. You know, you can't really talk to them because they damaged. And we really want to talk about like what's going on in the community. We gotta start in the home. We gotta start in the household. Who's the main parent? Who's the main influence of these kids? Because they try to paint this narrative that black fathers doesn't exist or we deadbeats and this and that. Not all of us are deadbeats. Not all of us are out here committing crimes and in and out of jail. I ain't never been in jail my whole entire life. I never been to court. None of that. You know, I've been a law-abiding citizen ever since I had the ability to work and pull out a job application. But we have to take responsibility for our actions and for ourselves and not be so quick to believe what we see or read. A lot of this stuff has to come with having great critical thinking skills, having that third eye, and just really using common sense. Everybody doesn't have common sense, and the ones who be cheering for you and be having like a low vibrational pool, like you guys are the most admired. You know, if anybody who use their brain and really use their brain are ostracized, they are exiled, they ridiculed, judged, crucified, and found guilty in public opinion. I be telling people that we're the new lynch mob. If you haven't did your research on lynchings, then you should, because it's some deep shit. And I hate that me as a man of my color or my caliber gotta be called a nigga every goddamn day of my life. I hate that shit. Like, why I gotta be a nigga when the Mexican not a nigga, a white man ain't a nigga, a Asian man ain't a nigga, but I gotta be a nigga though. And I ain't bring no harm, but I'm a nigga, you know? And that hurts, you know what I'm saying? It hurts me. I don't know about everybody else because everybody else been programmed or they had adapted to being slandered like that or being name called like that. It's all programming. And once you realize that you are complicit in the type of programming and this and that, then you as guilty as the ones who's doing it. But hey, it just be so crazy just how people be happy when one of us fall. And we don't know what day they go through. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much money you got, you're still a human being. You still have bills. You still have problems. You still have issues, you know? And I pray that he gets some help. He made it a lot further than a lot of people has that came from the city as an athlete. And this is coming from someone whose cousin was Charles Rogers. Like, as much as I love my cousin and this and that. He's a legend. Day Day was everything that you want to be. He made it to the grand stage, four-time NBA champion. So I will always respect him for accomplishing his dream. But it just, you really realize the haters when you fall, when you either get suspended or when you go to jail. And they'll tell him how many people he looked out for and did favors for and stuff. And people just so quick to just parlay, celebrate his demise. And that's sad. That's fucked up, yo. Because it can happen to you. I never judges or talk about anybody who going through bad times because mine's could possibly be around the corner. I could be next while I'm celebrating and rejoicing in a man's downfall. But God don't make no mistakes. God is the final answer to everything. So I really do feel like God just sit him down for a second so he can get his head right, so he can take a break. And we all need a break every once in a while. I gotta take a break from this shit sometimes because this can get overwhelming. Just really be, trying to come up with different topics and different episodes and this and that. But it can be really overwhelming being and sticking to a fast pace. And I don't even think I'm fast. I don't really think I really do much. I do a lot of my stuff pre-record now because it's a lot easier. But a lot of times I don't be feeling like being on camera and stuff. But people just gotta understand, like, just because somebody signed a contract and playing the NBA, like a lot of times they don't be feeling like playing basketball. They could have a fight with their wives or the baby mama getting child support and co-parenting and with a narcissist. Like you just never know what people going through. But yeah, y'all want to just um put the rope around a nigga neck and hang him and burn his body alive and be happier about it because they told you to do that. What happened to having your own mind? What happened to making your own decisions? You are an adult. And so many adults out here that's followers, that is fucking sick. Anytime you speak your mind, anytime you walk on your own accord, you crazy or you a threat. And people don't want to hear this because they feel like, oh, you hurting my feelings. No, nigga, take the ego off and take that mask out and just really realize that this is wrong. I'm wrong at times. And I can admit what I've done. You know what I'm saying? I was a horrible person. But growth is about hearing things that you don't want to hear and making the proper adjustments. So many people playing victim out here. People don't apologize no more. They avoid you. You don't gotta avoid me. A simple I'm sorry. I apologize will suffice. But people will avoid you, conjure up this story, and make the falling out one sided when it takes two people to fall out. Don't take that one person to fall out, it takes two. Because at the end of the day, there's a decision to be made. It's whether, okay, um, do I leave this person alone or do I stick by them? Because I want to be reasonable. I want to make sure it's not me, you know? So we have to come to a conclusion on how we can make things better and how can we fix things. Because we can be toxic at times. We make toxicity so cool. We make toxicity the primary when it's supposed to be secondary. You know, toxicity shouldn't even be in the curriculum or in the mix, but we made it so popular to the point that people don't know how to communicate. People don't know how to take responsibility. People think that, oh, I can do whatever I want and I don't have to suffer the consequences. Yes, you do. And there's consequences in everything that you do. But we just got so familiar and so comfortable with doing what we want to do instead of doing the right thing. And I pray for Day and Draymond Green to be able to, come back and do what he loved to do. I do believe that he's going through something internally. Don't know what, but I pray that he gets the help that he needs and pray for everybody who's suffering in silence because as a man, we all go through things that's tragic and that's painful that we can't talk about it because we will be ridiculed for it. We would be laughed at. But yeah, last thing, please don't call me no black leader. Please don't call me the chosen one. Please don't call me whatever because of the fact that if I get an allegation, if I get locked up, or if I get accused of something, y'all gonna turn on me. And I don't want nobody turning on me. Because the first thing they're gonna do is look into your past and then they find out, oh, okay, he did this and he did that. They don't believe in change. They don't we don't get that right to change. You know what I'm saying? We don't get that right to do a 180. That's everybody else, but when it comes to us, we don't. What you did in 2008 or 2009, like you can still do that in 2023. Like we don't have that opportunity to grow up, to evolve. We don't. So again, like, comment, subscribe to the channel, the 1804 Show, Chapter 2, and I'm out. And stay tuned for more. Thanks, sis. I saw you. Appreciate you. All right, y'all. Have a good day. One.